What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Rimworld. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we take a look at who's getting taken to a medical bed right now? Nestor. Oh, we rescued him. That's right. I forgot about Nestor. Okay, so in the previous episode, I think this guy had fallen from space or something like that. He was a space refugee. Yeah, he's a refugi. And then I think he was he related to somebody? No, his daughter's dead. All your family are dead, unfortunately. Well, I could capture him, and I could try to talk him into being a member of our society. He's good with animals, but he's pretty much terrible at everything else. Like, he's not really that great of a character. He's depressive and nervous as well, so that would explain why. I was thinking to myself, why didn't I put him in a prison bed? This is like 7 days after I recorded the last episode. And so, that makes a lot more sense now. With regards to our research and statistics, let's see how that's all coming along. I'm actually going to strongly suggest we stick with electricity. We just need to get that taken care of. It's going to take a long-ass time, and yes, some of the numbers here are going to be very much inflated, but I think once we figure these things out, we should be good. It's just that we've got a long road in front of us trying to get things banged out. Over here on this side, you guys have made some suggestions about the way that I should actually orchestrate this that I was a fan of, that I did like a little bit better than some of the ideas we got going on right now. I wasn't entirely sure if it would work, but you had all suggested doing a checkerboard pattern. Something like this right here, where apparently the enemy AIs can't see these, so they will go around. I'm sorry, the ally AIs will go around these and not mess with them, but the enemy AIs will just go straight across and get themselves chopped into little tiny pieces. I think that's worth investigation. I think it's worth a shot. And the way that we would do this instead is we would have that like that, we would take these down, and then we would install a tunnel on this thing to force things through. Now, if this doesn't work, I'm holding all of you personally responsible, but I like the idea. I like the creativity of it, and I like the way that it seems like it might work, maybe, so I figured we'd give that a go, alright? Alternatively, we still have some mining and some things to get done. We're going to need machinery, which we are stockpiling right now, but we're going to need a lot more. There's dead guys over there. Was there any more steel around that we hadn't already taken advantage of? There's componentry over there. I'm trying to figure out where the closest supply of steel is at. So it's looking like this is our Huckleberry over here. Alright, so that's fine. What is a Huckleberry? Is it just like a name? Like Huckleberry Finn? Or is a Huckleberry like a thing that's like down in the creek and deer eat it? That's what it sounds like to me. I'm like, ah, deer been down in the goddamn Huckleberry again. Oh, we got Tona in here. Tona was on our team already, wasn't she? Was Tona our doctor by any chance? Pretty sure Tona was already on the team though, so we may need to take care of that. You guys can go back to drinking beer. I don't care. Enjoy yourselves. Just make sure that you don't have any more sanity breaks. Also, in addition, where have I hid my brewery table? We will brew beer all day, every day. We need lots and lots. Actually, I would just say do beer for, no, maybe not forever. Let's do it 25 times. And then once that's been banged out, hopefully we'll have access to enough beer to where, actually, we don't have the supplies right now, so that's going to be our first problem. We don't have any hops around anywhere. Well, we got a little bit of hops. We got 42 right there. And it looks like it takes 25 for us to produce how many beers? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Looks like to produce 5 beers, it takes 25, so by a factor of 5, you have to deal with that. With Nestor, he's a guest. Give him the best medical stuff we can. He's got asthma and everything else. Hopefully, he'll leave. I just don't want to keep depressive people around. I really, with depression and anxiety and all that kind of stuff, with the way it's implemented in-game, it's a very big challenge. It's kind of a terrifying thing to have to deal with, and I would just rather not bother with it for right now. Especially when you don't have, like, the fundamentals of society banged together in order to keep people from being at each other's throats and kind of losing their minds and all that stuff. Cook as many simple meals as you want to cook. I am a fan of having as many meals as possible. I don't like stockpiling more food than I actually need. And so if you can make a bunch of meals, I won't turn it down. It looks like Banana is getting pretty good at cooking. Yeah, is okay at it, I think would be the way that I would put it. Is alright at cooking. Level 8, a professional level. So it could be a line order cook or whatever. You are probably in an ugly environment, and you're hot. We have a heat wave right now. A colonist needs treatment. Which colonist is that? Lendoa. What was wrong with you? Oh, you have malaria, and you're not laying in... Go back to bed. Stop getting up. Here. Alright, who is our doctor? Lendoa and Bonzo. Bonzo, if you could come over here and prioritize treatment, please. That'd be fantastical. We can afford to lose a person here and there, but I would prefer to not have that happen. So as far as your health is concerned, you're 91% immune. Sleeping sickness, we have no idea where that's going to go, but you should survive the malaria, so that's perfectly fine. Do we have anybody on warden duty, or is... So Val 2 is our warden. And Val was out doing this all day. Okay. Val... Oh, Bonzo's already on it. Never mind then. That's good. Slept in the heat. Mood is looking bad. It's probably too hot in here. That's probably due to the torch. Go ahead and deconstruct the torch real fast. When she's got food in her, she'll probably feel a little bit better. But still, recruitment chances are not looking solid right now. She's hot and naked. Sound like the description for one of those links that comes up when you turn off safe search. Once those are done, it looks like it's going to take a while to construct those deadfalls. Those deadfalls appear to be a tad dubious to construct. Lendoa still has major malaria. Was hoping by morning that the malaria would be done and immunity would be taken care of. Sleeping sickness is going to be a while. Sleeping sickness is unfortunately one of those things where you kind of just got to live with it. So I think he'll just leave. Yeah, and we don't want him anyways, so that's cool. Like, this guy is essentially a firecracker in the middle of our colony waiting to cause our moods to fall off, and I would just rather not deal with it. Lendoa is hungry. Let's go ahead and prioritize feeding her then. I mean, I doubt that she's actually starving the way the game put it forward, but gotta do what you gotta do. They're playing horseshoes again, get a little bit of joy in their life. A little joy in your life. I may actually add an hour. I've had better luck with 4 hours of recreation than anything else. And then what we'll do is we'll just cut down sleep by a little bit because they're already sitting on 9 hours of sleep, which seems like a bit much to me. Although, honestly, I do personally wish that I could schedule sleep like that, where you just, like, schedule it and then it happens. We've got a shoddy great bow. We've got a shoddy rifle. We've got a good Pila. The good Pila does 30 damage. Damn, that thing hurts. Like, I don't really know what to equip people with here. We could go with the guns and whatnot. But it all just seems kind of risky to me. What kind of bow is this? A shoddy great bow. So with your shoddy great bow, it does 18 damage. Whereas a shoddy survival rifle also does 18 damage. I'm gonna leave it for now. There we go. Get those things stacked up, and then we just won't worry about cooking for a while. Yeah, like 50 or 60 of those things ready to go, and it should be alright. Lendoa. Major malaria should become a non-issue in about 2 hours. Sleeping sickness, still going to be an issue for the long term. Basically, you get like 2% immunity per day on sleeping sickness, and it's a bit of a hassle. What are you going to do about it? I was hoping we wouldn't have any nasty illnesses this early in the game, but unfortunately we appear to have been afflicted. Let's go ahead and get that one trained because we have access to it. Tona should join up soon. There it is. So Tona's back. Tona's unfortunately naked. Tona needs to throw on some clothing. Tona, are you good at shooting people? You're okay. Go ahead and grab a survival rifle. You now have a gun. That's right, we're moving up the tech tree. We got gats. Disturbed sleep, hot sick, little bit of pain. What are you sick with? Sleeping sickness. Ah, yes. Okay, well, as long as she gets treatment for it, she should be alright whenever it comes up. First thing she's gonna do is snag a beer after her extended time in the Hooskow. That's alright. After you do time in the Clink, you gotta get out. Gotta watch out for that PO, though. Those PO officers be sniffing up on you like crazy. Like, you smell like beer. You smell like beer. You aren't supposed to be drinking. You're on parole right now. You be like, man, back up off me. I ain't pissing no mo, PO. You don't tell me nothing. I'm a gangster. So now that that's fixed, we should be in better shape to actually, like, accomplish things. And the nice thing about sleeping sickness is that it's not that bad of an affliction. Like, when you have sleeping sickness, you are still capable of, like, doing other things. And so they should walk around and still contribute overall to being a part of the society. My next suggestion, do we have anybody... Yeah, we do, actually. We have somebody that's a professional cook now, so we can get rid of the simple meals. And we can say to cook the fine meals. Now, this is going to represent... It's going to cost a little bit more for us to make fine meals. Simultaneously, though, it'll get rid of some of this food surplus, and it gives people just a flat bonus to their happiness. We may want to plant a few more fields that have a little bit more stuff going on. So, for example, I wouldn't hate the idea of zoning, like, some strawberries right here. Like, I wouldn't be adverse to that. Like, that sounds okay to me. And then you guys had raised the concern that I hadn't been roofing my buildings, and that's because they added a new thing in the recent patch that it's taken me some time to get used to. The build roof areas. It looks like they all have roofs. Looks like we're good. Yeah, it looks like we're right. I think we're good. I think we're looking solid right there. Maybe that was the other playthrough that people were concerned about. I don't know. I got too many things going on. I'm thinking about getting rid of one of the playthroughs. More than likely the one that's on the outdated version where the save won't load right anyways, because that's just asking for problems. I'll probably keep this one maybe. I don't really know. I'm caught in between a rock and a hard place right now with regards to random series scheduling. I kind of overbooked myself. I shouldn't have started this series right here. I should have just kept the other Rimworld video going on. Instead, I panicked. And I recorded an all-new series once something went wrong. And it was like, well, now I gotta decide if I want to hold on to it or what I want to do here. Did we get all that steel in there? We need more steel. If there's one thing I am absolutely assured of, it's that we need more steel. Although we do have a little bit of machinery right there. We got machinery right there. Machinery right there. Actually, don't mess with that machinery. Leave that alone for right now. My hope is that now that Landoa has immunity to malaria, Landoa should be around, like, able to run around and actually do stuff, which will make this a bit easier. Even if it's just stockpiling and moving rice barrels around, that's fine. I don't like the way it looks when there's things just laying all over the place. And so having somebody available to haul while she waits to become immune to sleeping sickness is perfectly fine by me. You've been healed, right? Okay, we'll go do stuff. Critical alert, poor mood, Landoa. Probably largely due to the spacious interior and a little pain. Insulted, rebuffed by Bonzo. Oof, that's not good. Let's give Landoa a little bit of chill in the middle of the day so that Landoa can actually attempt to fix his problems, his or her problems, and still get a little bit of work done. Like, still doing some of the hauling, but at the same time, we're removing a tiny bit of the stress from the character. In a day or two, the fact that Bonzo rebuffed her should be alright. It's just the little relationship things that you have to put up with, you know. Your characters do not always like each other. We have a party. That's actually really, really good. I'm happy to hear that we've got a party cracking off. Wabba, wabba, wabba. And we've got beers and I mean, we only have 8 beers for like 6 people, so, you know, take it slow, I guess. Hopefully, Bonzo and all them don't get into more fights. It would be preferable. But the party should give everybody a flat bonus to their happiness for a little while, which is okay by me. Do we have the ability to produce anything right now? We have a hand tailoring bench. We're still missing a lot, unfortunately. Still missing a lot. Who was it that was good? Val's pretty good at researching. Unfortunately, Val is working on the all-important task. Oh, you're already ready to go? We'll get this one hauling train then. Oh, they don't have trainable intelligence advanced. Okay. They got bird brains. What are you going to do? They got bird brains. What are you going to do? I might also consider... Well, if you're urgently hungry, go eat some food. Like, how is that... How is that anybody's fault but your own? Like, that's kind of all on you. If you're hungry, you know where the stockpile is. Go get it. The nice thing is that eclipses and things don't really matter when you're playing tribal people. Kind of irrelevant. Lindoa's going to throw some heals. Lindoa, are you not treated yet, though? Because if you got sleeping sickness minor, next treatment's in 8 hours. Okay. Yeah, do your thing then. Sorry, I'm not trying to micromanage you. Okay, I am kind of trying to micromanage you. We've got a food binge mental break. That's better than nothing. Actually, once you get booze and once you have booze binges and food binges, you don't have to worry quite so frequently about them breaking. They just go on alcoholic benders every single time they get depressed, which is actually way preferable. You can complain about it, but it's actually much more it's preferable. I would prefer it. Although their chances of getting food poisoning are probably a bit higher than they were previously. How's our trap grid coming over here? Go ahead and deconstruct that real quick. Wow, Tona built that with a quickness. You guys are banging it out now. Okay, that's what I like to see. As soon as that's done, we're going to go through and we'll take structures. And we're going to go... Oh, I don't know. Go with steel walls, since that ensures things a little bit better. And we'll take the steel walls out to there. Once that's done. And then we'll deconstruct this. We will deconstruct basically all of that. Although to be safe, I'm going to set these up first. Actually, I'll do them one at a time just to make absolutely sure. You can trigger your own traps. It's just there's a chance that they'll forget and walk across it. It doesn't happen like every time, which is why I know there's conflicting reports. People being like, you can't step on your own traps. You actually can. It's just, it's a check. Do me a favor and reconstruct that wall, or deconstruct that wall, please. I don't know where these traders are coming from. Okay, so we got traders down there all ready to go. We got the gate open on that side. Mental break food binge is already out of the way. The eclipse is irrelevant because we don't have electricity or anything of the sort. So why worry about it? Hopefully the AI doesn't figure that out. That would be upsetting. If the AI is able to zigzag in between those, that's going to be a problem that needs to be dealt with. But for right now, I'm glad that we actually ended up with a bunch of traders coming in because we have a lot of stuff to sell. Hopefully they are open to weapons acquisitions because there are things we need to acquire that unfortunately have not been provided to us by nature of the fact that we are, you know, tribals. I mean, it is what it is. Who is my social guy? Who's my social guy? Warden is Val, and Val happens to still be awake. That guy's name is Rhino. That's legit. I wish my nickname was Rhino. My life would be so much better if my nickname was Rhino. I'm gonna get rid of pretty much all of these that I can. The hell is a Psychic Shock Lance? Psychic Shock Lance, a one-use artifact that directs psychic disturbances towards one character, dropping them into a state of psychic shock for some time. There is a large risk... There's a large risk of brain damage. Oh my god. I have a lot of herbal medicine. Chances are I could probably trade some of that over too in order to make some more cash. I would love to trade for a slave. Like, that would be fantastic. It looks like they're slave traders. We could use a slave right now. We could actually use a population increase. But for the moment, I'm going to accept that trade and get the 200 silver. These are almost ready for another harvest, so I was okay with giving away a bunch of our herbal medicine. Because why not? Now that they can get after that one safely, I want them to get after that too. And then we'll deconstruct all of that, and life should be good. They're still going to hang out here with their slaves and what have you, but since we don't really have many trading items, it's like, what am I going to do in order to make this all better? It's odd that they don't want the jade knife, because that's worth $4,000. And I could have traded... You ever been traded for a jade knife before? That'd be kind of upsetting. I'd be in a bad mood if I got traded for a knife made out of stone. I'm like, man, that really sort of... That doesn't set the bar very high for my personal worth, does it? Damn it. They didn't want any of my artwork or anything either. They're just offensive. This group's a little upsetting. Like, every person that I have is a prostatile or whatever the hell, which is also concerning. Yeah, keep working on that research. It's going to take us a couple of episodes, I think, to get that one all nice and mashed out. It's going to take some doing and some concerted effort, but it should be alright at the end of the day. We have more than enough there. We have a little bit of cotton coming through. The cotton's going to be more important later on, and so we'll probably get rid of... Got too much heel root right now. I'm going to suggest that we replant this as... hops. We don't have enough hops to make the beer that we want to make right now, and so we'll redo that field right there. We have way too much Zerigium. I call them Zerigium still because I like that name better than heel root. And I feel like if I call it Zerigium, it'll turn back to that. I want you to buy a mod that turns heel root back into Zerigium. I don't know, heel root doesn't sound sophisticated. That sounds like something you loot in a Ubisoft game, you know? Yeah, it looks like they're cool with the situation over here. It looks like they have no problem with the way that works. I'm still sticking to my point that I'm blaming all of you if this doesn't work. If I get murdered by the next raid and the AI just kind of steps in between them, I'm going to be very upset with all of you. And by very upset, I mean moderately perturbed because we'll lose the playthrough. And I'll be like, oh, well, that clears up my schedule all right. Now I mean, the problem is I got to choose between doing the Alpha 13 playthrough that is going really, really well and this playthrough, which is kind of dragging a little bit. I didn't realize how long it was going to take in order to do half my research as tribal people, and so... So do we not have anybody on this fine meal over here? Cooking a fine-ass meal requires cooking 6, which is not that difficult. We might need meat in order to do that properly. I can't recall. It doesn't seem impossible. Who's my cook right now? Who's doing my cooking stuff? Banana, you have a skill of 8. I thought that it just took 8 pieces of something instead of taking 5 pieces of something in order to get that mashed out, but I could be wrong. I'm frequently wrong. I'm really, really good at being wrong, actually. It's one of my skill sets in life. Brewskis are looking good. And with that, I think we're out of time for the day. My name is Splattercat. I know it's not a lot's not getting done right now, but that's kind of the point of the game. Not a lot happens in this game sometimes. Tona appears to be in a bad mood now. She's always in a bad mood, though. I mean, there's a lot of things not working right now. I can't really add light because it'll make the room hotter, which will make them more upset, and then, you know, they'll figure it out. Either way, I'll see you all in the next episode. Thanks for stopping on in. Hi, do everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode of Rimworld.